And obviously coming from Nyanza, one of the things you had to deal with is that they wanted to inherit you as a wife.
Oh, they call it widow cleansing. I don't know what they cleanse on widows.
So what is widow cleansing exactly?
Okay, you get an inheritor.
What do you mean you get an inheritor?
When your husband dies, there is someone who they bring someone to inherit you.
So meaning
to
now
cleanse you.
You have to have sexual relations with that person.
You've carried the death in Luo Nyanza. So they bring a man to cleanse you.
A man from the same family?
Some from the same family, some they just bring for you a man.
So this was brought up to you that you would have to be cleansed.
When my husband was being buried, I got an information that they'll shave my hair the 4th day. So I was like, niko rada. You know, being msichana mwenye alitoka town, so I was like, niko rada ya. So the 4th day, I saw an old woman with a scissor. They were talking. So finally, my mother-in-law told me, you sit down here, we want to shave your hair. Nikawambia, aha, my hair. That's why when I differed with them. The following day, I took my children to Nairobi. So my in-law kept on calling me, telling me, oh, come back home, oh, come back home. We want to inherit you. Nikawambia, oh, Mimi, I'm not coming back home. So when you are a widow in Luo Nyanza, you faces a lot. You are being accused. You've killed their son. So many things. It wasn't good to my side when I was at home. That's why I decided to take my 2 children to Nairobi. When I came to Nairobi, I went to my sister's place. She accommodated me for so many years. I think like 12 years I was in her house. Then she decided to go home. So I started to be Mele and the family. And back by then, my girl, my firstborn, alifanya class 8. I didn't have money because when the husband died, I was doing this kibarua job. So my girl was to wait for another 1 year for her to join Form 1. She waited.
Because you didn't have money?
Yes, she joined Form 1. Reaching Form 2, it was hard. I got a letter from the principal telling me the girl is not going back to school because of the arrears. I thought, what could I do? I was stressed. So finally, I accepted widowhood. So one thing here, if you have accepted you are a widow, you will move on. So I accepted. The man is there. If the man is not there, so have to be a father and a mother. That's where I started my...
So you never remarried afterwards?
No,
was it by choice or was it by consequence?
No, by choice.
And why was it a choice that you elected to make?
You know, when my husband died, I asked myself so many questions. But the answer I got was, watoto wangu lazima wasome na watakuwa na baba wengine. That was it. So I didn't want any man around me because what I went through, it's me and my children who knows.
So widow now almost for 20 years. What about you, Gladys? Was it, you've been a widow now 12 years?
Yeah.
So is it that you've elected not to date or remarry, or is it by consequence?
Well, that is my choice, Tamima. It's my choice. And then my children, these younger ones, you know, they are still young. In fact, the boy that I was left with, who was 2.5 years, 2 years, is now in Form 1. The other one is in class 8, the girl. It's my choice. I want to bring up my children first. I want them to be comfortable. I don't want to introduce any man to their life first. I want them to grow up peacefully, health-wise, comfortably, and emotionally. I just want them to know that their father died. I don't want any man to come frustrating and confusing them. Marriages nowadays have so many challenges, Tamima. And, you know, some of these guys, these men who come to our lives,
The inheritors.
Some they come, not really coming to marry us. As you can see at my age, I'm not young. I'm now a grown. I'm a mother now. In fact, I'm a grandmother. My second son already has a daughter. Well, I have no intention of remarrying. I am just comfortable through the experiences I see other women going through.
But what you're both doing is that you've turned your pain into purpose. So tell me
Yes.
about the program that you're running, almost like a sisterhood of widows, to support other women going through the same experience.
Well, through the challenges I went through, the stigma, the abuses from my in-laws, my brothers and my sister-in-laws, that one, I want to separate my parents-in-law. They were not in that category of the frustrations I went through. My brother-in-laws and my sister-in-laws. And then one time when I was there at home, I happened to meet some older ladies, widows, in an administrative office there at home. And then these ladies, they started giving me their story. That time I was young, because when my husband died, I was almost 33 years. And then that one older widow gave me a part of her story. She told me, you are so young. Umewacha ukiwa tu hivi. Akaniambia safari ni mrefu. Akaniambia hii safari sio mzuri. And then she told me, in fact, I messed myself. I went and got inherited. And this inheritance, in fact, imeniletea shida. Because the children that I got from my husband, walifukuzwa kutoka kwa. But hawa wenye nimezaa na the brother-in-law, they are the ones wenye wanataka. So from there, nikachanuka. And then, in fact, that thing really stressed me. When I came back to Nairobi, we came and we started meeting with the widows where I stay. And then we formed a group called Rise Up Widows Meetup Organization. And that is how our support started from there. And our organization, in fact, it has extended from Embakasi area. It is now in the county, is in my county of origin, in Nyamira and Kisii. We have other smaller groups under Rise Up. So we are supporting each other emotionally, psychologically. We have empowerment programs that we are doing. And we've really seen God doing great in our lives.
Okay, well, keep up the good work. We'll be right back after this break.